Thursday,
there he is.
7
Perfect.
o'clock. Garnet and Old, no inside info, no contacts, no problem. Football is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Garnet and Old Show.
Football is upon us. I'm watching it right now. I got it down here on my iPad, watching the USF game. So far, so good with USF. We'll see what happens there. And
Yeah, I was remarking
so
to you,
far,
Vince, slowest throwing motion of all time.
yeah, so far, so good, by the way, for Captain John Black with some offshore fishing in Panama City Beach, Florida. Captain John Black is the premier offshore experience in that neck of the woods. Give him a call. He's a Nole. He's a marching chief, and you will not be disappointed. You'll probably catch a lot of fish. You won't catch a sunburn if you wear the appropriate sunblock, but give him a call. Let him know that Garnet and Old sent you. He's a big time supporter of our show.
Yeah. Vince, a comment in the comment section is what I feel like is our theme for tonight's show. And James C. writes in and says, ready for 24 to quickly fade into the rearview mirror. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the feeling. As we are sitting here with minute 53 in the half of the USF Boise game, we're sitting here, and it's real now. Tomorrow, when all of you wake up, you're only a day away.
Only a day away. It's like tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you want a preview of how Florida State can potentially go about, how could they possibly beat Alabama when they're outmatched by talent, see USF's quarterback, who clearly arms not the strongest suit, but has shined in running the football today.
Yeah, so far so good there with them, like I said. So the theme for tonight, and I forgot to put the thumbnail in our show here, so I apologize for you guys not seeing that. By the way, that thumbnail, AI, thank you very much for that thumbnail. You saved me a lot of time. But the theme for tonight is kind of, let's all get together and talk about what we're about to experience this weekend. And so in light of that, I sent out a couple invites to people, and I'm not sure how many of them are going to show up tonight, but I know for a fact one of them is going to be here. So let's pull them into the show right now. Let's pull in Jeremy with the Rock and Nole channel. Hey, Jeremy.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me live from Tallahassee, Florida.
You were just telling us, Jeremy, that you have a couch behind you if anybody wants to crash with you. Is that correct?
That is not correct. I gave a specific invite to one person, but that's okay.
All right, that's cool.
The only critique on your background I have is, Jeremy, is that you need to reverse the pivot point on your fridge where it opens from right to left. That's a problem. It's all backwards there. We can't do that.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, the problem, though, Ryan, is this is not his house or his place. So you could tell him, yeah, he's going to start switching the refrigerator doors. I don't think that's what he's going to be doing. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to kick off our goal for tonight. Give me a moment here. Start
$1 million.
Yeah, we're going to up the game tonight because last week was just an unbelievable week for us in terms of support for the show. And Ryan and I talked about it for a couple days afterward. We were floored by that support. So tonight we're going to look at 10 super chats and or $50. And if we hit those tonight, we're going to give away some more memberships. And we keep saying we're going to do a show, and it is coming. We are going to do a show.
So I'm going to do a show tomorrow night.
Hold off, because Ryan is going to do one tomorrow night. Is that going to be members only, or is that going to be what?
It's going to be members only.
Okay.
So Perfect. If you're not a member, hit join on the YouTube channel. So tomorrow night, we're going to, of course, talk about the Alabama game tonight, but I'm going to give you my raw and real night before jitters, because with Thursday confidence comes Friday nightmares and jitters.
Yeah. Okay. We're only 1 day, 20 hours, 23 minutes, and 42 seconds away from kickoff. So you have enough time to get the butterflies going.
Mm-hmm.
So the deal with tonight, everybody, is we're going to talk Bama, of course. Chris, I am sending you the link right now. I thought about that at the last minute. Hold on a second. It's coming your way, brother.
So we're sitting here 2 days before the game.
I'm sending it to you on X, Chris.
How are we, just gut feeling, without getting into details of the matchup? I'm feeling better today than I was even a week ago. How are you feeling, Jeremy?
I mean, you picked us 2 weeks ago.
Sure did.
I'm still kind of indifferent because I've been doing this for a long time. Maybe not like covering it like this, but being a Florida State fan, I've never been this uncertain and going into a season. Those injuries don't help Alabama, but in my mind, it's still Alabama. They're gonna have talent ready to go. Other than the Keenan injury, I think they've been preparing for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of indifferent. The weather is going to play a role.
Unfortunately.
So yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So I mean, to me, it just comes down to our D line and the running game, plain and simple.
So with the news, of some people getting hurt on their side, there are definitely significant pieces for them.
Yeah.
And, if it were us, we would be more concerned about that for us because our depth isn't where it needs to be right now. But I'm pretty sure Alabama's depth is a notch or two above where we are at this moment. So these guys are going to be out, and I think you are going to see a tick down or two on where, the effectiveness would be if they were in the lineup. But still, it's going to be, it's still Bama, like you said. Oh, we already got a super chat tonight.
Mr. Doug Rohan of Rohan Law. He'll be your best friend on your worst day.
And not only that, he could be your best friend right now if you're looking for Champions Club.
Doug, now
tickets.
you tell me. Now you tell us, Doug.
Apparently, he's the only one who can't get rid of them if they don't sell before the members only show tomorrow. We will work out a giveaway. Okay, well there you go. If he doesn't get rid of them, we're gonna try to do a giveaway. This is all flying by the seat of our pants here. Apparently, Chris needs those Champions Club tickets bad.
Jeremy did too. That's okay.
So here's the thing, gentlemen. I'm a slight update on the weather because I know that's a big factor.
Yeah.
As of 7:09 on Thursday, it says the chance of rain during the day is 50% now, and down from 70 what it said yesterday.
77.
And so
a lot of it's pushing to later in the weekend.
Yep.
So if we can count on that, Ryan, and the magnet. Count on that and the magnet.
The magnet. Yes, for sure. But the best case scenario for Florida State is what I call a drizzle game, where the entire game is overcast and just kind of dripping, just enough to kind of make things a little slick, a little sloppy out there. What they don't need, and what I don't think any of us, please God, no lightning delays, because nothing will spoil a start to the game you've been waiting for months and months and months and months than a lightning delay on the
kind of deflate the team, especially if you're wet, and
I'm always wet.
Section 225, Doug. Section 225. SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek, everybody. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, good. No, I was like that. Was it 3 years ago for the Duquesne game when they had a lightning delay? And that was Duquesne. You knew you were going to win.
Yeah.
This is Bama. Like, Cameron was right when he said, we'll deal with the weather. Just no lightning.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need
And I don't want the new concourse to get a test that quickly into the season.
Yeah.
Now,
so
what's
if
more exciting?
If it does rain, I think it's going to rain. But if the rain is significant, what do you think? What do you think that does to Florida State's chances? Does that elevate them, or does it reduce them, or does it matter?
It does elevate it because Florida State. And by the way, we do have another super chat. FSC Cat 1000C. yes, defenses are normally ahead of offenses. Tommy C will be the X factor. We hope so.
We hope so, yeah.
Thank you so much for the $10 there, FSU MCAT. We really appreciate it. To answer
Captain
your
John
question,
Black,
Vince,
you're number one.
it'll help. It'll help more than anything for Florida State because our whole offense is ground and pound
Yeah.
or one read throws. I mean, that's really the offense. And Alabama's end, they're going to be a good mix, or a healthy mix of both, but you have a very inexperienced starting quarterback on their end who may have not ever played a big time game with that kind of environment. You know, maybe a little slippy slide, maybe a little whoopsie on a couple throws, a little overthrow, a little fumble
Little
as
wet
you're
ball.
getting hit. Yeah,
Little wet balls.
balls free, right? So that's what we're hoping for.
What do you think, Jeremy?
I mean, the weather doesn't help the crowd noise if it's bad.
Yeah.
And I listened to Bud Elliott. He nailed it. And I was thinking it too. He said it, so I got to give him credit. Ball security comes up 10 times more. This quarterback can have those issues, but we turn the ball over in the 20 because we didn't protect it, and vice versa. What helps us is that he's still a stud, but Ryan Williams is a speedster.
Yeah.
I'm also curious how the new field holds up in that weather.
Let's ask another person what their thoughts are in terms of the weather. Let's bring in Chris Frazier from Sporadics. What's up, Chris?
Not a whole lot, fellas. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Welcome to the show. We've been talking about getting you on here more often, and tonight is the night. One thing I want to get to you with at some point during the show is about all the recruits that are going to be visiting. But let's start with the weather. What do you think about how the weather is going to affect the Noles?
I think that both teams have to play with whatever elements come, forth. So a lot of people see it as a benefit to Florida State more so than they do Alabama, and I agree to an extent. A lot of the guys here at Florida State, I don't know that Bama practices too much when it's storming or when it's raining or things to that nature. Florida State does. They do it purposely. And a lot of times we have what they call soak practice. They will sob every football that they practice with in soap and water. So they make them as slippery as possible. They put grease on them. So I don't know if other football teams do that. I haven't heard that Bama does it, but I think that Florida State has definite practice with ball security with situations where they're very either wet or also an additive grease or something to that nature to practice with them that way. The biggest thing that you would want is muff punts in that situation. Um, Kickoff, things of that nature could take place. I think that it helps Florida State being at home. I think what I would like to happen is for it to rain really, really good before the game starts, up to an hour before the game starts, so that
Mm-hmm.
the field is affected, and then the rain might give you a mist throughout the game a little bit, just so we can keep it true. And I think Florida State could benefit from it more than Alabama, just based off of I think Ty Simpson and this Alabama offense with the standout wide receivers that they've got are going to want to push the ball downfield. That's DeBoer's. I mean, that's his nature. He's not a big
Mm-hmm.
run all the time guy. He's a big punk
Yeah.
for passing the ball down the field. So I think it's good for Florida State because I think it takes a lot away from what Alabama wants to do. Ty Simpson's not the slowest guy in the world, but he's not a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, that's some good points there. It makes sense for Florida State, actually any team from Florida, to be practicing with a wet ball, with a soaked up ball, with a grease ball, or whatever. I don't really know what the weather's like in Bama. Forget it, Ryan. Just keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I just don't know if they have the daily deluge, every day during this time of year. So, Cody Johnson got another super chat from Cody. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you and appreciate you supporting the show. It's awesome. And just so you know as well, Chris, Darian Buford says you're his guy. He's an ultimate chief.
Yeah, really, really good guy. I really respect all of my Ultimate Chiefs. They're really excited for tonight. I was going to give away a pair of Champion Club tickets to the Alabama game, but instead, um, and I would have to explain into detail later on. Don't have enough time for it now, but I'm giving away 2026 season tickets for next year on
Oh, great.
tonight's show.
That's awesome. What time is your show kick tonight?
As soon as yours ends, about 8 o'clock.
Okay, great.
What type of
So
seats
once
we
you're done
talking
here,
here, Chris?
everybody, go see Chris. What'd you say, Ryan?
What type of seats are we talking? Are we talking Nole Pass? What are we doing?
It's 2026 Champion Club season ticket.
Very nice.
That's awesome. So what do we think, Ryan? What do you think about Simpson and him having to, get some psychotherapy from Nick Saban, to kind of calm his nerves down? What do you think about all that?
So, the second I heard those comments, first of all, you should really go listen to the clip. I know a couple of the podcasts read it out, but when you go listen to it, I'm just thinking, oh man, you really didn't have to say it. You could have said, yeah, I talked to Nick and he had some good things to say, but I appreciate all the advice he's given me, and then just move on. But do I think it's really going to affect the game? No, I don't think it's going to affect the game. However, people tend in those moments, obviously the questions he asked are a reflection of how he's actually feeling. It doesn't mean that he's not going to hold up in those moments that are stressful or anxious moments or important moments, but clearly he's thinking about it. But Vince, young man making his first start on the road in Tallahassee wouldn't have those thoughts? That's my thing. Is like, yeah, other quarterbacks, other people might not say it out loud that, yeah, admit that they asked Nick Saban about that. But you have to imagine most quarterbacks in his situation would be thinking it.
I can't imagine there's not a starter, a quarterback starter starting his first game on the road in a major game. I can't imagine there's one of them that has not been nervous. There's some kind of nerves going on, right, Jeremy?
No, absolutely. I would be more concerned. I'd feel better if he came out and said, just another game, just another game. I've been doing this a long time. Him saying that, if I was an Alabama fan, I would like that. Because that means he's even more focused on the game. And I
Yeah.
think once the game kicks off and you play, you're fine.
Once you get hit a couple times,
And
that's what
once you
they
get hit a
say.
couple times, once he makes a couple throws, it's football to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a job interview. You want to be nervous going into it
Yep.
versus versus just
Yeah.
being overconfident.
What do you think, Chris?
You did say Ty Simpson, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody the honest God's truth about Ty Simpson, in my opinion. I think he's a good quarterback. I think that he's going to end up having a pretty good year um, for Alabama. I just don't think it starts in Tallahassee. I think that he's got some inconsistencies that he's still working through. He's not 100% familiar with this offense of staff. He's not 100% to me meshed with his wide receivers yet. And I think the hostile environment, which they play in a lot of hostile environments, but he hasn't. He's got less than 50 snaps as a quarterback in college. I think he's done some growing over the back end of the season, being in the off season, but I don't think people realize the amount of pressure being the starting quarterback for Alabama football is. Like if you go back and pay attention to every year that they've won a national title, maybe one or two here or there, but almost every time they win a national title, their quarterback is the best quarterback in the country at that time,
Right.
most of the time. So
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot on his shoulders, and we'll see how it goes. I don't want him to find out how to do it until after they leave Tallahassee.
Good point. What you got, Ryan?
No, but I'm sorry to
Oh,
chime in. I mean, they won with a Greg McElroy and AJ McCarron. Those were game managers. But that being said, what impressed me about this kid was he beat out. Excuse me, young man. I hate saying kid for a college kid. I just said kid again. Is he beat out the guy that DeBoer brought with him from Washington?
True.
who's now entering his third year with DeBoer.
but
So
didn't beat
he
out
must
Jalen Milrow.
he didn't yeah, but they were on the same par there.
Yeah, I got you.
He
I
was
got
with
you.
Penix and learned with Penix and DeBoer in Washington. And DeBoer wouldn't have brought him to Alabama if he didn't think he was that good. He beat him out. So I mean that says a lot about the kid in some ways too. And they remember they have that freak who's a freshman. I would not be surprised if there's some Wildcats, if there's some packages just for that guy to run. I mean, we keep talking about what we might throw out. That's a wild card. They might too.
True story. Vincent, Tony,
Yes,
what are
sir.
you feeling?
Uh, I mean, I just from a generality standpoint, I'd say I am happy that this is the kid's first start, right? And I'm happy that it's happening here. Um, I'm happy that he doesn't have his first tier weapons like like the running back. I can't remember his name now. Jam something.
Jam Miller.
Yeah, that's good, right? So not only is he kind of going to be feeling it out, but the people around him maybe aren't as stable as he would have liked. So that is a recipe to, rattle some things early, and hopefully it never settles down. That's kind of the way I feel about it. Now, if they just come in and, we're not able to um, make him put his head on a swivel, if we can't get to him, if we can't rattle him a little bit, then I think it's going to be tough, man, because um, then, the confidence is going to build quickly
Yeah.
with him.
Well, Irish FL brought up a good point today. When's the last time Gus Malzahn has taken orders from someone in the game?
Mm,
Uh,
that's a good point. That's a sneaky
over
good point.
15 years. Now, I'm not saying they can't work together, but in the first game against a big time opponent, if Mike says no, I don't want that, Gus might have a hard time. Who hasn't been in that position in 15 years, and
Yeah.
this guy was the guy who was one of your GAs.
Yeah.
Like it's there
Hey,
could.
it's tough.
I'm curious how that plays out. I've been all offseason wondering about that
Yeah.
dynamic, especially in the
Yeah,
first game.
and now that you brought that up, Chris, I know you've got a little, you obviously have a lot more pulse on what's going on there. What do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like it's got to be done. Obviously, we have to see it take place. We have to
Right.
see how the operation is going to happen. But I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to say, y'all hear me and James say this a lot. I think um, I can tell who everybody listens to when it comes to Florida State coverage. I can tell who they've been listening to by the first two or three sentences that come out of their mouth, and they don't have to announce who they listen to. Um,
Well, I do,
I
Chris. So
think
you
that
don't think
all of
I'm
Florida
stealing?
State media, no, I think all of Florida State media right now is kind of butthurt because they didn't get
That's
the
fair.
access that they usually get, and any negative point that can be brought up about Florida State outside of we went 2-10, outside of we've got an offensive coordinator that has been a head coach for X amount of years, outside of Tony White's not going to be here but a year or two because he's going to be a head coach somewhere, outside of we've got nine freshman players as a backup role or as a starter. Um, like yeah, there's a lot of things that you can point at Florida State and say, I don't know how we're going to look here. I don't know how we're going to look there. That's, I mean, not no offense to all of Florida State media, but can we be something other than Captain Obvious? Like, yeah, we know that all of these things are in question, but that's why we have to play the game. That's why the game has to be played. And if Florida State comes out there with a pulse, which I believe they will, and I believe that they will put up a very good game against Bama. I really do.
Agreed.
If people
I
think that
agree.
Bama's going to beat Florida State by 3 touchdowns, my DMs are open. Please message me. We can bet it all day long. I'll take it head to head if you would like. I don't even have to be the points given or nothing. I
Wow.
think that Florida State, as these young kids, I think they're looking for the opportunity for people to switch the flip on how they talk about Florida State University. I think that that starts with TC, and I think that the reason that that kid has came out as cocky as he's been, now it's time for him to back it up. But I think he's this cocky because you have to have that type of leader moving forward and throughout the season. If we go 0-1 in week one, okay, every week you're 0-0. Like you got to find ways to win football games. You got to find a way to do it with true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, undersized sophomores. I mean, I'm not. It's not something that we look at and say, does Bama have probably a first round draft pick at linebacker? Yes. Do they have a first round draft pick at center? Yes. Do they have one of the best right tackles in the country? Yes. But they've also got question marks, just like any football team does going into the first game of the season in a new season. How many times has media picked this is going to be your national champion? This is going to be the best team in college football. And, I mean, hell, they put us in the top 10 last year because there wasn't an analyst in the country, nor a coach or anybody else that could say Florida State was going to go 2-10.
Nick
It
Saban
wasn't.
himself said
It
that we
wasn't.
look like
Yeah.
a top 5 team on the field, like as far as our
No,
athletes.
and that, Chris, that to your point there, that's something else with the media is they feel burned about that. I think even more than being kicked out of practice is they felt like they
Because they
felt
took
like
heat.
bulls. They took a lot of heat.
Yeah.
For that.
Here's the thing,
And
though,
I'm not
Jeremy.
defending them. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying.
No, no, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. But what? Here's my thing. This year, you're you you're not saying that Florida State's going to be X, Y, and Z, the best of the best, and we're a top 10 team. And Nick Saban saying we've got a top 5 personnel, blah blah blah. But last year, you can blame the coaches for what they told you. You can blame the coaches for a lot of things, but you can't blame the coaches for not having access last year. And you didn't report one time that this football team looked bad in any scenario. You didn't report one time that this football team looked as if it was falling short of what everybody expected it to be. So you have to take some accountability and say you wasn't good at what
Oh,
you were
I
doing either.
agree. I couldn't agree
Well,
more.
I also think about it's one thing to look at a practice and see guys going through drills and they look like they're executing the way they should. But what you cannot tell is how they're going to fall apart when things don't go their way. And that team was, as far as like chutzpah, they had very little, right? There was no one there to rally. And until they started to see the fact that they weren't going to achieve the things in their mind that they thought they were going to do, um, there was no way, I don't think anybody could see that, except for maybe the coaches that were there with them all the time and could be able to tell, like, this team doesn't have any fight. They don't have any alphas on this team, right?
The only caveat I'll give to that, and I'll give a specific example, and it drives me nuts every time I hear it. And I have no problem with the channel, but it's a very specific channel for the last year has said that, hey, come to find out, we expected, DJ to be using his legs, and come to find out he was injured and we had no idea. You were in every practice. So what you were seeing from him in practice, from a wheel standpoint, it's not like he woke up game day and sprained his ankle.
They weren't allowed to
knew.
report that. They weren't allowed to report that.
Yeah, but them acting like, hey, the reason why, one of the contributing reasons why we got it so wrong about the team was, they always say, well, and then DJ, clearly was injured. I'm like, you guys were hyping up the team, pumping the team up, and you're acting like it was a shock that DJ was
I know.
not 100%.
It was like pro wrestling.
Guys, you knew that.
So here's the thing, though. If they knew that information, which you would assume that they had an idea that he was hurt, why would you continue piling on the positives? I think you would start to change your narrative as a media outlet to kind of temper things, and they just never did that.
You like having open access. You like having the availability. You like being able to see the practices.
No.
You pump.
I'm not
pump
saying.
Yeah, you're trying to keep him happy, Norvell, too.
No, I know, but I'm not saying you out the fact that he's hurt.
There's ways to discreetly say it.
There are ways to kind of change the trajectory of the message you're sending as a media outlet to take into account the things that you know but you cannot say, right? And I don't think that they did that, at least from what I could tell. And I watch all of them. I listen to, well, I don't watch all of them. There's a couple that I do not watch because I cannot stand it. But I watch quite a few of them, and I listen to most of them. And it did not ever seem to me that there was like a change until like all of a sudden there was no ramp up. It was like just like, okay, we were going to be fantastic, and oh my god, we suck. Like there was no lead into that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that team was built for practice and not for games.
Yeah.
From what I heard. Yeah.
You know what I'm built? I'm built for if Florida State wins, I win $658. That's what I'm built for. Big Daddy East put down the dollar towards a straight up Florida State win.
Straight up W.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know, because you know what I'm doing? You know what I like to do more than anything, Vince?
Drink. Oh, eat a W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink.
Okay. Okay. So the one thing there are a few things that I find intriguing and encouraging about what we're about to see. But I think the thing that has kind of made me think more positively the most is that you're seeing the coaching staff kind of hold people accountable more than we've seen in a long time.
A lot more, yeah.
And the fact that they're pretty honest about effort and if they're gonna be pretty honest about the good or the bad, they're also seem to be pretty honest about the good. So talking about the way the team loves football, loves to compete and fight, which hey, I know this is a low bar to hit, but
they're great.
Thinking about last season, like I'll take a team that fights and cares.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I know you laugh though, Vince, when you listen. It's fandom. That's why it is what it is. The same people hollering last year that oh man, youth movement and like why don't we see something change? And then they see a few players that are super young or maybe were walk-ons, and they're like, "What is this? Why don't those established starters have a spot in here?" And you're like, "Guys, you told us that you want the guys that are willing to play and willing to put their neck out there, but then they do it and they're like, what are we doing?"
Yeah, I mean, you take the good with the bad, or you take the positives with the potential negatives.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you're putting a kid in there that's going to give everything they have, we may end up, we may fall short for whatever reason, but at least you gave the kids that earned it the chance to compete. Let's do some quick shout outs here, Ryan.
Yeah, for sure. We've already shouted out quite a few, but there's quite a few listeners that have not been shouted yet. Have we shouted out Bruce and Jordy yet?
I don't think we have.
Seminoles. Of course, Doug was always in the chat and always welcome. Friends call me Sean. He says Noles wins Saturday. I like the emotion. Tomcat, my man Tomcat, always in the chat. James C, ready to watch. Been a fan since the late '60s, so I can take whatever my team gives me. That comes with age. That's very mature of you. Very mature.
Mature. Yeah.
Zempest, I just hope Castellanos isn't like DJU. You don't have to. In some ways, you don't have to worry about in the least when it comes to being fleet-footed. KC Florida, if FSU had Miami's team, they would have actually been pretty good. Well, yeah, anyone who had Cam Ward, probably. If we had Cam Ward and not DJU, we probably would have been good, yes.
If you have Cam Ward, you should actually have something to show for it.
Yeah.
Actually. And Miami doesn't. Let's see here. Also,
Vince,
so all of you that are
sound
here,
ready to go. So next person who does a super chat, even if it's only for $1, if you guys at home want to hear the new sound for super chats.
Oh boy, Ryan's had a little too much to drink. I think he's ready with the sounder.
We couldn't do the air horn because I refused because a certain rhymes with Chuchavandi uses it way too much, and I can't do it.
I got you. I got you.
Sorry.
So those of you that are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. Please do that. And then also grab the link to the show and post it in your social media accounts, please. We want to get more people in here to talk the Bama game. And if you are watching on X, take an extra moment here, go over to YouTube and find the channel and subscribe. We would appreciate it. Ryan and I have been hovering around, what about Ryan, about 1275 subscribers.
Yeah.
We want to get to the next level, and I know the off season is kind of tough, especially
And
after
those are real subscribers, no paid subscribers, no.
Yeah,
fake
we didn't pay for any
subscribers.
subscribers, but we want to hit the 1500 mark pretty quickly here because people are excited about the season. So let your friends know.
I also want people in the comment section give your score predictions for the game while we're talking, just so we start collecting that data. And we're going to get there, Vince. Let's go around the table. Florida State wins if. Vince, you go first.
Florida State wins if. Let's see. Florida State wins if they run for 130 yards.
130. Interesting.
And Tommy Castellanos has 1 rushing score and 2 passing scores.
Jeremy, Florida State wins if.
Daryl Jackson plays up to his capability. Plain and simple.
Chris, Florida State wins if.
Florida State wins if many things happen, but the major one I would say is um, offensive continuity.
I like it. I would say Florida State wins if they have the edge in time of possession, because that means that we've shortened the game. The clock's been running. We've run the ball successfully, and it means it's a likely lower scoring game. I really believe if we have the time of possession, that means that we're sitting there at like 14-10 at halftime. Either someone has the lead, but 14-10 at halftime. But yes, time of possession I think is going to be key in this one. What you don't want is quick empty possessions followed by Bama driving the field. So Florida State needs to possess the ball to keep the defense fresh and to keep Bama on their heels. Let's do the other half though, Vince. Florida State loses if. Oh, we have our first opportunity. Hold that, Vince. Hold it on.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
There we go.
So I have to, this is the wrong term, but I'm going to have to whore out here a little bit and say I have to play the war chant here now because this is part of the deal. So I have to turn off my noise removal so you can actually hear it. All right,
let's do it. Let's get it going. Come on. We're out of pace here. You got to do the chop like they do in EA Sports College Football 26, which is this.
Oh yeah, they kind of throw it at you, right?
Yeah.
So John, I got a new mouthpiece, and this is going to get real deep here. I got a new mouthpiece last year. It's a wedge. You probably know what this is, but I'm getting used to it. So
he said, "I see the wedge" right before you said that, so I'm impressed.
Oh, he did? Okay, yeah.
All right, so Vince, Florida State loses if.
Florida State loses if we cannot contain the defensive pass rush.
Jeremy, same question.
If our defensive line gets annihilated, and turnovers, obviously, that's a separate issue, but defensive line can't get annihilated, it's going to be a long day.
Chris.
Florida State loses if we do not control the line of scrimmage.
I'm going to say Florida State loses if we miss the field goal opportunities that we have. I think this is going to be a game where having a good kicker, and we know we got distance. We know the kicker has distance. What we don't know is in live game reps, how accurate are we talking?
In bad weather.
Yeah, in bad weather. So what we really need, we need this to be 10 to 14, 17 to 14, 21 to 17 game, and we hit some crucial, like maybe 2 field goals in a row to take the lead or something like that, I think the kicker is going to be extremely important in this game. So before we get on to
Hey,
Vince,
Ryan, knock on wood, he's been good, right? And he's got quite the leg. And so
Not in the
hopefully
game, though.
well, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully all that transitions to the game, which I have pretty good confidence that is going to happen.
I like your confidence, Vince. Before we get into the predictions, score predictions, and all that other fun stuff, Vince, did you see, and Jeremy and Chris, how about those concessions, the new treats they announced?
The apple bites? Yeah, the apple bites, the brisket nachos or whatever they were, and there was some kind of like fried pickle.
Fried chicken sandwich.
Fried chicken sandwich, but there was like a pickle thing, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think
Like a
Yeah,
fried
they're
pickle
fried
spears?
pickle spears.
Oh, come on now.
Ugh.
they're stepping up their game.
Jeremy
I do
doesn't like
appreciate
that,
Ugh.
we're going, Vince, from, for all of us growing up to just the hot dogs and regular circle nachos with lukewarm cheese. We're getting a bit of an upgrade, so kudos to the snacks. Snacks.
Snacks is in the game.
Yeah, that's a good reference. Do you ever see that clip, Jeremy? You remember that Snacks Lee, the basketball player, he was like 400 pounds, and they put him in the game, and he like was shooting threes, and they're like, Snacks. Everyone, if you're after this show is over, and after you watch this Chris's show, go on YouTube
Look for
and type
Snacks.
Snacks Lee.
Snacks
Yeah, I think
got
it was. I think it was Jackson. Was it Jacksonville State?
Yeah.
So go look for that video. It is
Legend.
hilarious.
An absolute legend.
So I'm looking forward to actually seeing the stadium. One of the things I put in the show notes for tonight was what else are people going to complain about now, right?
Oh yeah, I already
Because
have a list.
because we went through, we're going to complain about, last season, yeah, of course. Then we're going to complain about, the sod gets ripped up. No, let's go back. Then we're going to complain about the seats being black, but people didn't understand that they were mesh seats, right? Then you can see the mesh seats, and when people took pictures of that, people were like, well, there are no cup holders. How can we spend all this money and not have any cup holders?
I actually am on board with the cup holders complaint.
I am too.
What's that?
I'm on board with the cup holders.
I am too. If it's 100 degrees out and you can't put your water down.
No, there are cup holders.
There are. I thought you said there
There
weren't.
are cup holders, but people couldn't wait for them to be installed. They had to start complaining about it. Then they complain about the sod being ripped up, and this sod will never take. And then we're going to complain about,
Well, Vince, there's no
the
way the sod
Endzones.
will be put in place before game day. It's impossible.
There's no way.
48 hours.
And then we get the beautiful Garnet Endzone, so there's no reason for people to complain about that now. So my question to all of you, and any one of you can go, what's next on the agenda to complain about?
Easy.
It's already
Half
started.
empty seats.
They're complaining about the font that Florida State has changed to, including the font that's in the end zones.
The Unconquered font?
No, in the end zones where it says Seminoles or FSU or whatever have it on each end. The font, Florida State also did it digitally. Florida State's new FSU logo, the font of FSU is different. So now people are complaining about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
The first thing people will complain about, Vince,
that's petty.
is the empty, when people aren't in their seats on the home side.
Right. Okay.
Because they're going to say, I would have been in my seats and I couldn't afford to keep my seats. So, shame on them for taking away the seats I've held for 30 years.
And those people typically, when they get to their seat, they do not move. They stay there. Mm-hmm. They don't go to the concession stand. They don't go to the restroom ever. They're just there for the entirety of the game. So in case there's a shot there, they can say, I was in my seat. That's nonsense.
Now, Vince,
people leave their seats all the time.
One thing I did think about that was exciting based on that, though. The dancing dad has to be on that flat little area now on the home side.
As far as I know, Dancing Dad is no longer going to games.
I thought you were going to say he's dead, so I'm glad you didn't say that. Yeah.
No, I think he hung it up, but I'm not entirely positive about that.
Well,
Jeremy,
I
what do you
hope
think
he's
they're going to
dancing at
complain
home.
about next?
I mean, if there's not a DJ there, people are going to be livid. Uh,
I hope
you
there's
know,
not a
I
DJ
don't know.
there.
Listen, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
But
okay.
honestly, like I love being a Florida State fan. I wouldn't trade it for any other. But man, our fan base might be one of the most like
Bitchy.
I was gonna say whiny, but bitchy works. Yeah, fan base is like after 2-10, I get it a little bit because man, you everything is bad then. Like so I give them credit. I'm excited to see the new scoreboard. I'm gonna try to be positive. The new
For
scoreboard.
sure. Yeah,
And
that's what this is about.
I
Let's get
hope they
past that.
yeah,
Let's
let's
talk
try to be
about good stuff.
positive.
With no graphics being double
Because
displayed.
see, that's what I want. Like cool new stuff. Like seeing other colleges. Like I want to see where it's a cool where they leave the locker room and they're cranking the music and just getting the crowd hyped. I felt like what I also have never liked, but I just stay quiet is I don't. All right, listen. Burt Reynolds is as Nole as it gets. We've paid tribute to him
He's
enough
going to do it.
with the Smokey and the Bandit song at the end
I
of the
love
fourth
it.
quarter. I don't.
I
It
love
doesn't get
that.
you pumped for a fourth quarter. I get it. I mean, you're a true Nole Vince, and I respect that. But like, imagine
Kevin James. We need Kevin James.
I like that. I mean, Creed got their break in Tallahassee. Play higher, like just something to get because that's a lot more common now in college. Play a current song or somewhat recent.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Come on, if you're the away team and you hear Eastbound and Down, like
It, but it's not for them.
I get it, I get it. But you're trying to create a hostile environment,
You are trying to create a hostile environment, but we're between quarters,
and the
right?
crowd does
And
not. I'm
you
sorry.
have to have a balance between being modern and hyping the crowd up, but also having some traditional things. Otherwise, we're going to start happening what happened at the beginning of last year, which was, we're all at the club and that's all you can hear.
I
And
agree.
no, there is not a college football fan. There's not a college football fan, like a true college football fan that I know that wants that kind of
Yeah.
environment.
Like I want some
They
pump up
want
music.
tradition.
Sorry. I want some pump up music and some intense video on the scoreboard saying it's the fourth quarter, like
Sure.
something to get you hyped. And seeing it elsewhere opened my eyes
Jeremy,
even more to it.
one of my favorite things that they did that on for 2 years in a row. I don't know if you remember, 2007, 2008. Everybody shot, shot, shot.
Okay,
And they
well-
had defensive hits. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom on
Right.
the scoreboard. Like something like that, where it was
Right.
like, I'm not talking like let's play the most modern music, but let's play something. I would
the
rather
crowd
listen to
going.
Mr. Brightside than,
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
That
you
Eastbound
know.
and Down just doesn't. I mean, people fall asleep during that song. Vince, were you at the Clemson game in 2000?
No, I was not. Last
Okay.
time I was in Clemson was in
No.
1992.
No, in Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah.
In Tallahassee. Winky senior year.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
They did, and they haven't really done it since. The crowd was into it. They're ready. It's an 8 o'clock game. And all of a sudden, they just put on a video on the scoreboard of Knowles in big games. And the crowd just stopped, watched it, and got so hyped. I want to get back to that a little bit. Play
Well,
the hype
maybe-
videos, play the music to get stadium pump music.
Maybe with the new technology we have, it's great to have new gadgets and toys, but you have to back them up with the right kind of people to put the
For sure.
content on those things.
Play DJU highlights.
I don't know if they have that. I have to because I believe in the administration. I believe in the athletic department.
Yeah.
I have to believe that they have the right people putting the content on those screens. I have
Yeah.
to believe that because if they don't, it's a big miss.
Listen,
It's a
I
big
agree.
miss.
I mean, I'm just seeing it elsewhere really opened my eyes to it. And I'm not trying to say it just for me, but I agree. What I've noticed is they've been listening. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
when Peter Collins talked about the field and he goes, of all the things in the world, that's like the number one thing to no offense. He couldn't believe it. But they
Yeah.
did something about it. In the
Yeah.
past, Florida State used to be one of the most stubborn places.
Yeah, anyone who complains about anything regarding the renovations, all you have to do is, in my opinion, show them the wide angle view of how beautiful now Doak looks.
Yeah.
In the wide angle, like it looks incredible, and compare that. And you saw the images this week online. Like compare that to the swamp, which is like now like you're like, oh, that kind of looks,
Dumpy.
So
It looks dumpy.
Now, what I would like to see, can I tell you what I would like to see, Jeremy, for that hype?
Yes, please. Let's collaborate.
Pick your song, whatever. It doesn't. The song to me is an. I don't want Eastbound and Down because Eastbound and Down. Georgia has nothing to do with Tallahassee. I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, Vince, any kind of universally beloved song, even if it's like Tom Petty or something. I don't know. But put. I do, Vince. By the way, I did that on purpose. ACDC, Vince, your favorite. But I
Oh
think we need
yeah,
to
Hell
time for
Belt.
us time for us to get on the drone show. We need drones, man.
Yeah,
All these other cool colleges are doing like the cool, like the gator head in the sky or the Buckeye or whatever.
yeah,
Can we get a spear in the sky heading into the fourth quarter?
yeah. I agree.
All that is great. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. All that is great and part of the ambiance and part of the excitement and all that.
Billy Joel, Vince.
But is that going to equate to getting us more
Yes,
victories in the now?
it could. Well, it would
You know
increase the
what?
hype.
You want to make it as loud and
I
frenzy a
understand.
place as possible. I mean, look what Jump Around does.
I'm not going nuts
Yeah,
because of drones.
I understand, but that he's saying add that to the music
Yeah.
and to
And the lights flashing, the colored
like
lights, and
like I was at Texas when they did that drone show. It's cool. I'm
I
not
know
asking
they're
for that.
cool.
That must cost a fortune, and I'm not saying we should spend that kind of money. But you could do a cool song with a cool video, and Florida State has the history behind a video like that. You
Let
can
me
have
tell
Bert
you.
Kreischer screaming fourth quarter.
Let me
I
give.
agree with
Let me
Creed. Creed's my pick.
let me
Fire.
give. Let me give the athletic department and the administration a free idea. The only thing that I ask is that if you are going to use this idea, I don't need any compensation.
Mhm.
I just need you to acknowledge where the idea came from. That's all.
Right.
Here's the idea. People have been clamoring for the Spirit Spear to come back forever. And it would be a major, major outlay of capital funds to get something like that built. You could do that in spades with a drone show. You could launch those drones,
And have it
you
peek for the
know,
spear.
and have it react to the crowd. And you could do a Spirit Spear in the sky. That's free of charge. Chris, tell me about the positives when it comes to the recruiting and the visitors we're going to be having this weekend.
Well, we've got a lot of guys that were at one time um, putting Florida State at the top of their board. We've got a running back that's verbally committed to South Carolina right now that will be there at the Florida State Alabama game. We've also got the number one quarterback for the 2027 class that will be at the Alabama game. We've got two number one. One's a defensive end, the other one's a defensive or a linebacker. They're both the number one players in the 2027 class. And then in the 2026 class, we've got three defensive tackles, one, two, three or four defensive ends, five total linebackers, and a plethora of wide receivers. The wide receivers are really excited to come because they want to see how Gus uses wide receivers in his type of offense because that was a question that all of the wide receivers came in asking when they came for visits when Gus had been announced is, how often would I be used? So a lot of them either pledged elsewhere or have not pledged yet based off of they want to see how Gus and Florida State uses the wide receivers. Um, and then I would say one of the highest points, the linebacker Williams that has committed to like 26 other schools
Right.
each day of the month, a new school. He's going to be there, but he's bringing along two guys that are committed to Ohio State, two guys that are committed to Georgia, one guy that's committed to Oklahoma, and they're all 26 guys. So
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to that because we're going to have um, a pretty special day planned for the visitors. That's gonna allocate them being able to go see the standalone facility. It's gonna allow them to see all the renovations inside the Champions Club, then also inside the stadium. Period. And then they're gonna get to check out what their name would look like in the locker room. We've got a thing set up at Florida State that's gonna show them, hey, this is what it's like coming in on game day. Also, they're gonna do a pre-walk, which isn't during the our walk in, whatever they call it, where we go over there and watch the team come in from the bus.
Legacy
Um,
walk.
they're going to do that, but they're not going to do it with the team because that's not allowed NCAA rules. But they're going to see what that's like. They're going to ask a bunch of fans to come over there at that time, and then the recruits are going to get off of the golf carts at that time and then walk in. They're going to see what that's like. I think there's a lot of things that they're pulling out of their briefcase to show these guys what it's like game day experience wise as a player, and then they're going to show them the ultimate fan um, day as well by letting them go to a presidential suite for a good portion of the game. They're
Hmm.
not just going to be in the recruiting area. I don't know if everybody's seen the renovations on the presidential suites or not, but it's absolutely amazing. And then top everything else off, the Wi-Fi at Florida State is finally going to be able to operate, and all of the fans will have access. And they've put like I don't remember how many computers and devices they made put a load on that Wi-Fi just to see if it was going to hold up to 77 or 74,000 different devices
Yeah.
at once to see if it would work. Um, but I'm really excited about all of the recruits that are going to be there, especially that 2027 quarterback. And then we've got two 2026 quarterbacks that have committed elsewhere verbally, but will be at the Florida State Alabama game as well. None of these guys are committed to Alabama, but except for there are four guys in totality that will be at the game that are committed to Alabama, but they were also down to Florida State, Alabama, and Ohio State or Georgia as their last three schools, and they're coming for what the experience is at Florida State. They're also planning on going elsewhere later, but Florida State has an opportunity. They don't have to win this game to catch some of these guys, but if they win the game, they have obviously a much better chance to change the scenario and get in some top end recruits for 26, and also impress the top running back, quarterback, and wide receiver for 2027. I think that's important.
That's great news and great information, Chris. Thank you so much for that.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
That scared me.
Yeah, it's kind of scared me too. Like you said, if they don't win the game, as long as depending on how the game looks, right? I think it's a win no matter what, because I think they're going to come out and they're going to be more than competent. I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. And in the end, these deposits you're putting in when you're recruiting, where the relationships and the things you're showing them are going to pay off. Because after this game, we've heard a lot of people say this. It's the absolute truth. After this game, you got a couple teams that are going to be pretty much, easy games, and you have a lot of time to correct things and ramp some more stuff up. So, regardless of what happens this weekend, this season in general is looking really, really good. I made a mistake today when I put this goal out.
Steak?
I made a mistake. I've already given away my 10 free memberships for this month, so we'll give them away on next week's show. The 5 we'll give away. So if you want to get your money back, I don't know how to give it back to you, but we'll give the memberships away next week. There'll be 5 that we're going to give away. A few last things. Ryan, you got to give everybody the bad news right now.
No, because we have to do our predictions for the game first.
Okay.
All right, score prediction time. Jeremy, I know you got to give in to this. You got to.
He's not. He's doing it on his show.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay.
I'm not doing it. Period.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
Okay.
Florida State in a tight game wins 21-17.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to put let's just say, okay, so I got to put something on it, right? 27-21.
Win or loss?
Loss.
Okay, I was going to say, you can't just say a score and be like, then you're not right or wrong. You just win either way.
That's right. Chris, what do you think?
I honestly have with the situation, the scenario of what's taking place. I have Florida State winning the football game 31-27. Now that I know that there is a just impossibility of it not raining its ass off, I do believe that the score goes down just a tad bit. So I think it's going to be Florida State 27, to Alabama's 24. And I do think there's going to be an unfortunate amount of turnovers on both sides,
Ugh.
if
Unfortunately.
possibility. Um, but to top everything else off, Jeremy made a point earlier in the show that Ty Simpson's ability to beat out the quarterback that DeVore brought from Washington with him, and everybody looks at that as a good thing as far as Ty Simpson goes. I want everybody to pay attention to something. Jaheim Brown, I would say most people would say he's a good football player. He has done at least a good job here at Florida State. Well, he's been beat out. And there's a number of guys that are the two deep or even starting like Boggs that have beat out some pretty good wide receivers in that position, and also a tight end that was beat out, and also a right guard that was beat out for the second man up, and also a left tackle that was beat out by one of your own that's been at Florida State for a minute. I don't like it being a positivity for the other team,
Sure.
and our people are screaming because we've got 9 or 10 freshmen, whether it be true or redshirt freshmen, getting the opportunity to start this football game. I think you might want to pay attention to how hard they had to work. And this is a brand new coaching staff. The defensive coach, as far as your coordinator, the offensive coordinator, both caused these guys to earn it. This is the first time that I've actually watched Florida State make these players earn their position and not based off of why they brought them here from the portal, not based off of where they're ranked at from high school, not based off of they're a fan favorite, but based off of who showed the most production on both sides of the ball. That's what I like the most. I don't care if they're freshmen, true freshmen, or if they're babies out of the mama's womb. If that kid can line up and give you better production, then I don't care if he's a fifth year senior. So be it. I think that Florida State is going to surprise a lot of people as long as they execute. We have to execute at least 60% of our plays on offense. If we do that, I think it's a close win. But time of possession, very important. I do appreciate y'all for having me on. I'm already late for my show. So I will talk to y'all next time. Y'all have a good one and go Noles.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
Now I have good news for everyone. I will be doing a full post game, in the studio here, so that I can bring Vince and maybe even Jeremy, on from their phones. So that's the great news, is that I'm going to be able to have my computer doing a studio post game show post Alabama. That's what you're talking about, right, Vince? The good news.
Yeah, yeah. But why are you having to do that, Ryan?
It does
I don't
not
wanna
weigh the
talk-
bad.
I don't want to talk about it.
Uh-oh. So as I'm alluding to, Mr. Ryan, because of some extenuating circumstances beyond his control, is having to bow out of the Alabama game this weekend. And so we wish him the best in his depression, and we. But on a serious note, some of the benefit of that, though, is Ryan is able to fire up some shows and be able to produce some stuff from home, which is a lot easier to do than when you're actually at the game. Gosh, man. So the maker's mark is catching up to the man.
No, it was perfect. It was like the applause that I won't
I
make
know.
it, the sadness, and then the air horn, the positives. It was all lined up. It all made sense.
No,
It was cohesive.
I got you.
Yeah.
But this weekend, I'm going over on Friday. I know, Jeremy, you're already there. We're going to try to get there pretty quickly so we can hook up with you and have a few drinks. We'll let everybody know if you're in town. We'll kind of post on X or wherever where we're going to be. On Saturday, Ryan, you're going to fire up a pregame show, I'm sure. And also, I'm going to be streaming Skull Session as well. So you're going to get a lot of content from our channel over this weekend. If you're in town for the game, come check us out at Lot 12, and then make sure you're tuning in to the shows. if you happen to not be able to go to the game, tune into the shows and we can kind of enjoy this whole initial kickoff weekend together. Jeremy, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rock and Roll YouTube channel. Had a great interview the other day with Bryant McFadden. Really did a great job breaking down the game, just like these guys do.
Yeah.
And if you see me around with this camera or my phone, I want to make this one. It's my goal. I want to make this one the best vlog yet for away game, or not away games, it's home game. But I mean for college games that I've done between Ohio State, Texas, or this one. So please, like, just come in and be a part of the vlog. The more cameos, the better. So thank you, and thank you guys for having me on once again. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Jeremy. You're awesome. Your channel is great. Your content is varied and diverse, which I love. And if you don't mind, as usual, can you stay logged in just so we can capture your video?
Yes.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Ryan.
Doug Rahan did not come on the show, or Parker. What's going on? Oh, Jeremy's back.
What happened?
He's gone.
Jeremy's back, and now he's gone. Okay. They were tentative. Parker was not tentative. Parker told me he probably was not going to be able to be on. What's that? Oh yeah, we know we're live. We're not done yet. Parker's working tonight, Ryan. So he's actually watching games and doing stats and all kind of stuff.
I like him.
Doug, but I told Parker, if he had a lull, he could join in. Doug was going to, and then he got tied up with something, but he was in the chat. So at least we got Mr. Rohan in the chat.
Absolutely. Well, I predict a win. Vince predicts a loss. That's the only important thing here. I just want to let the record show that Vince is down on this team. To predict a loss
Come on, man.
in the home opener, I never thought I would see the day. It's hurting my feelings a little bit, honestly.
Hey, man, I'm trying not to just go with my heart. I want to pick the Noles. It's just it's an uphill climb. We'll see if the climb works out. How about that?
Just listen to your heart. That's what I do.
That's right. Okay, Napoleon.
But guys, it's been fun. We'll see how it all works out. I will be live streaming tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And it's going to be all things college football. I might talk about some of the games from tonight, some of the things happening tomorrow. Florida State, Alabama. So just join. You have to be a member, though. So hit the join button and test out the members only show. Join your boy, Big Poppy East. If Vince joins, maybe. He might be on the road. We'll see. But I'll be doing a fun college football, let's just call it a free-for-all.
Looking forward to it. What time do you think that's going to happen?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock? Okay, so we'll probably be just getting close to tally at that point. So there's a good chance there. Tomcat, it says he's not on X. We need to get some information to Tomcat. Tomcat, how can we get the information to you where we're going to be Friday night? Let me know. Let me know if you're on Facebook or whatever, and I'll look for you. But this has been a great show, Ryan. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of our guests, and I'm looking forward to this weekend. No inside info. Oh, okay.
Also, go Bulls.
Yeah, and the Bulls are winning right now, 17-7. So go.
Yeah, late into the third. So, but yes,
Bulls.
no inside info, no contacts, no problem. And Vince, go ahead, take us offline.
Yeah, thank you, John Black, as usual. And let's just say, you're not going to say your thing anymore because Ryan loves ESPN now. He is ESPN and Ryan are like this.
Watch CBS Sports HQ eternally.
But I will say, send Chiefs all the damn time because that will never leave my heart. Make sure you are, if you're looking for places to basically send some money to, this is a group that deserves it. So send it to Chiefs, and thank you everybody, and go Noles.
Go Noles. Be Bama, man. Let's go.